is hot. We are moving into July, and are you guys feeling this heat, or is it just me? It is hot. I know some of you are looking at your gardens right now and wondering how in the world they're supposed to make it. Some of you are either getting a lot of rain, and some of you are still waiting for the rain. And when it do rain, it's even hotter than what it was before. And you are panicking and watering 2, sometimes even 3 times a day, just to help and ensure that your plants don't die. But some plants aren't dying. They're just doing what they need to do to survive. If your plants are looking like this, droopy in the middle of the day, but in the evening or in the morning, they perk back up, that plant is just riding out the heat. It's like us trying to find shade. It is protecting itself, it is cooling off itself, and it is not a problem. So here are 5 mistakes that are actually killing your plants that you think are helping. Come on. So if you see my squash, this is my Seminole pumpkin, and they look like they need a lot of water. It looked kind of pathetic and you feel bad. Our gut instinct is to water it. So before you do that, let me show you something. So number 1 is you're watering wrong. So before you go ahead and water your plants because they look droopy, I need you to check your soil. So you can stick your fingers 2 knuckles down. I can use this stick and push it down and see if it comes out wet. Now that looks pretty dry. But a lot of times you stick your finger or your stick down there and it comes out wet like this, and you still water it. Now, that plant does not need water, but you water it anyway. Now that soil is soggy and it's hot and you're drowning the roots. That's how you love a plant to death in the summer. So if it's wet, leave it alone. If it's dry, deep water. Very simple. Okay. Now I know you feel how hot that water hose is, and this hose been sitting in the heat this entire time and spraying it directly in your beds. You're going to burn your roots. So before you do that, let the water run till it's cool. Ooh, that's hot. All right, before you water your plants. So now let's talk about timing, because let me tell you, I don't have the time to come out here 5 a.m. to water these plants. But morning is the best. So you can do 6, 7, 8 a.m. before it gets really hot out here. The reason why is that water soaks down to the roots while it's still cool. When we do water them at night, the risk isn't about the actual clock. It's about how long your leaves are staying wet. Have you noticed right after the rain, the slugs come out? They love that damp. So watering at night does the same exact thing. You are basically rolling out a red carpet rug for bugs, for fungus, for all of those critters that love moisture. If you can only water at night because you have other stuff to do, just keep the water down at the soil, off of the leaves, and you can cut most of that risk out. Just don't make it a routine, because again, we don't want to invite bugs to your garden. Summer, they are waiting. So I want to also make this very clear. If your plants are truly dying and they are crashing out in the middle of the day, don't let them die because we said don't water in the afternoon or don't water in the... No, take care of your plants. If they are dry, bring out that water hose and water your plants. Waiting for the next day, you ain't gonna have nothing. So number 2, you are trusting the rain. You know where it says 85% chance of rain and you're like, okay, that's gonna take care of my garden. That rain is a liar. It may hit the driveway, but it rarely soaks enough of your soil to do the job. So whether it says storm or 90% chance of rain, I still need you to go check on your garden, check your soil to ensure that the water actually hit the soil at least 2 inches down. Don't just trust the weather. Don't just trust that it rained and it did this job. You still need to go check on your garden. So number 3, I need you guys to come with me on this one. You are saving the wrong plant. You hear me? The wrong plant. You guys are out here trying to keep cool weather crops like broccoli or lettuce, or even worse, like I'm doing here with this cabbage. What am I doing? Why am I trying to grow? Because I can't let it go. We're like garden hoarders. You need to let it go. It don't belong in the garden. These are cool winter crops for a reason. And what it's going to do is just invite pests and take up nutrients and take up resources that you can be using on the crops that deserve to be here during this time of year. They are done. pull them out before it just destroys the rest of your garden. Focus on plants that actually handles this weather. Okra or certain squashes or sweet potatoes. There's a ton more, but stop wasting your water on plants we shouldn't even have right now. So, sorry to say, go ahead and take that plant out. That broccoli does not belong there. Take it out. Move on. It did its job. Okay. I think I made my point there. Look at me trying to plant it back. Number 4, you are feeding it like it's spring. If a plant is already stressed, it's not hungry, it is in survival mode. If you dump more synthetic fertilizer on a hot, dry soil, you are burning the roots. And if you force new growth right now during this hot summer, the sun is just going to scorch it and the bugs will attack it. So stop feeding the stressed ones. If a plant is actually happy and it looks good, feed it like some mild compost or fish emulsion in the morning, but only after you have watered the dry soil first. Never feed a dry plant. Always hydrate the roots before adding nutrients. So number 5 is what I just did, is found some shade. You cannot ignore shade in bare soil. So we talk all the time about how much cold a plant can take before it dies, but we don't talk enough about the actual heat some plants can take. Every plant has a temperature ceiling, a point where it basically starts to cook from the inside out. Once it hits that limit, it doesn't matter the amount of water. That is why shade isn't like something like luxury gardens have. In July, it is a life support that some of our plants actually need during this time of year. If a plant looks gray or is curled and it's in a pot, go ahead and move that pot to the east side of the house for afternoon shade. You can also use some of your bigger pots that you have to help shade off some of these smaller plants that can use that little bit of shade. So for your beds in the ground, you can bring the shade to them. A good 30 to 40% of shade is plenty for the summer, so you don't want to overdo it because you want to make sure air can still move through. So I went with the Vago mesh covers because this is a brand that I trust. It is like noticeably different temperature from in here to this hot, brutal heat. Like you can really feel the difference. I mean, this is nice. This is nice. Yes, this is nice. So sorry I've been letting you guys suffer this whole time. I hope you like your new home. Second is the bugs. Heat brings in the pests, especially down here in Florida. The mesh acts like a physical barrier, helping keep out birds, squirrels, cabbage moths, and other bigger troublemakers that can get in there and start tearing up your plants. And the trellis. Some of the climbers get long and heavy through the summer, and if they got nothing to climb, they're just going to pile up on themselves on the hot ground and make a mess. So the vines get matted down there, the air can't move, and that's when you start seeing more pests and disease move in. So I have my Jamaican yams climbing on the Vago trellis, and they do so much better growing up that way. Those vines want to climb, so you want to give them something strong to hold on to, and they really will just take off. If you're looking to check this out yourself, I'll put the information in the description below. And one of the things I need to be very clear, because when I see this, it hurts me to the soul. Bare soil in this heat, you are cooking your plants alive. You need to protect your soil. And the way that you do that is mulching with whatever you have, whether that is leaf, straw, cardboard. I know you guys can put it in the comments, whatever you're using protecting your soil, but that is going to help cool off your plants because we want to protect the roots. At the end of the day, that is what it's about, protecting the roots so we give it some actual to actually survive this heat. Another thing is if it helps protect your plants from disease, because when you're watering, that water splash the disease on your leaves, and that's how you get all of these issues with your plants later. So go ahead, use your leaves, your straw or grass clippings to cover every inch of that ground. And if you are mulching, you are going to make this summer way harder than it needs to be. I'm telling you now. Please, if anything you heard from my top 5, this is the top one. It's going to save you water. It's going to save you time. It's going to help protect your plants in so many different ways. And also mulch breakdown is actually feeding your plants. This is protecting your garden all the way through. I know it is very hot, guys, and I'm not going to tell you to go to your garden 3 times a day. It can be a lot. So if it's overwhelming, just triage it. So you can save the babies first. Those are your seedlings that have tiny roots They can't handle this heat, and any hot day can kill them and you starting over from fresh. The bigger plants that's been there for a few years, they can ride it out. They're going to find their water source. They're usually okay. It's the little ones, the ones that just started, or the ones that are in pots. Focus on those first before you move on to the others. If you just have a little bit of time, 10 minutes or 5 minutes in the morning, you can't do it all. Start with that first. So guys, summer is survival mode. I am not a fan of coming out here during the summer. I don't do it. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to make sure you're keeping your roots alive. And that's really the secret, surviving this heat, along with planting the right plants. So if you haven't seen my video on some top plants that's going to survive this heat, that was the last one. Go check it out. And I also have a free guide that shows every plant that actually thrive during this summer. That's on my website, rootedinjays.com. So I know you're like, oh, she read my mind. So if you've been wondering how I stay on top of these topics, it's very easy. I read every single comment, and that helps me shape exactly what I'm going to share next. So to help me bring what's important to you, what's happening right now, please leave it in the comment below. Let me know what you're facing out there right now, and I'll meet you there. Until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Before you go, I get asked all the time, where did you get that? Or what do you use in your garden? I linked all of my favorite tools, products, and garden finds in my Amazon store, so be sure to check that out. And if you're looking to grow even more, grab a copy of my book at rootedinjays.com. It is packed with all of the lessons I wish someone had shared with me when I first started gardening. And you guys know this backyard didn't happen overnight. It took time, patience, and a whole lot of trial and error. So if you're dreaming of finding a home where you can build your own backyard oasis, I'll be honored to help you buy or sell your next home. And if you're enjoying what comes out of this garden, come hang out with me over on Tony Mills at YouTube, where I share some of my favorite recipes. And finally, to everyone who supported this channel through YouTube memberships or Patreon, thank you. Your support helps me create videos like this, and if you'd like to join our community, I'd love to have you. As always, stay rooted, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.